What's up, everybody? This is Information Man Show. Thank you for being here. I want to thank Miss Monica for the $5 super chat. Appreciate that. Let me thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super
and
chat.
give you a clap as well for that super chat. I appreciate that, good sister. I really do. I want to get forward with the program today. I know that Honors is doing a show today, so I wanted to make sure that I did this show as a pre-sequel to his show, because I have some interesting things that I want to lay on everybody around this Umar Johnson situation. So I went live, I think it was Saturday night, and I went over a bunch of things about how he could be in trouble with Cash App, and potentially, well, Cash App got rid of his account. And I started thinking real deep about, well, why would they really get rid of his account, other than the fact that, yeah, taxes are one thing. And then I got to thinking that, well, if he's trying to open up a school, a nonprofit schools are exempt from tax status, except one thing that caught my attention. If you are saying to people that you have a school with students and faculty, and you do not have a functioning school with students and faculties, that's where it becomes fraudulent, deceptive, false advertisement, misrepresentation of something that you don't have. And because he's been pushing this narrative, Umar Johnson's been pushing this narrative for the last 20 years, right? Since collecting money going back to 2005 into 2010, he said it was going to open up. I'm going to play you a few things. And then it's been about 6 years now since he's got these abandoned buildings that Umar Johnson hasn't created a school. There is no real school, because you see, a school, as I looked at the laws, because today I'm going to give you the legal breakdown based on the research that I did. Legally, under the law, when it comes to consumer compliance within the law, to really be a legitimate school, you have to have students and faculty. And even if what you should be saying is that you're in the process of trying to collect money with the goal of building a school, because there's no way that Umar Johnson is building anything. You see, there's no way that he's building anything when we don't see any progress. For the last 6 years since having these abandoned buildings, there has not been any progress moving forward. No students, no faculty, no nothing. So every time Umar is constantly saying that he has a school, that is fraudulent. The only way that it could not be fraudulent is if he would say, we're in the process of trying to create a school. And then if you could, and this is where it wouldn't be fraudulent, if you actually could see him putting desks in the building, right? Let me give you some visuals that go along with what I'm saying, because I know Honors has done a lot of research on this, but I'm coming from this right now from a legal compliance when I looked at the research. And I'm going to put slides on the screen so you can see what that legal ramification is. People always say, well, if Umar Johnson is actually ripping off the community, if he's actually lying, why hasn't anybody sued him? You actually can file a complaint against him under the Consumers Rights Act. And you have to prove that he's done harm, that he's done irreparable damage in terms of misleading the public. And in the law, if you are constantly telling people that you have a school while collecting donations, so on the one hand, he could turn around and tell PayPal. He probably tried to tell the same thing to Cash App, that, hey, I'm collecting money for a nonprofit. I'm telling you, when I did my show the other night, I really should have gotten into this area because I spent most of that video talking about the tax revenue, that if you go over a certain threshold, you'll have to pay taxes. But what can protect Umar Johnson is this whole thing about being a nonprofit, but where it gets shady, which is why when I really do the research and really focus down on this issue, the real reason why Umar Johnson probably lost his Cash App. Okay? Remember, Umar Johnson, Cash App shut him down, right? And then he put this post out on his Instagram, PayPal checks and money orders only, right? Umar School for Boys, right? They tried to discourage us on Frederick Douglass 207th solar return. We were notified this morning that our Cash App account was canceled. We asked for the clarification, but were not offered any reason for the debauchery, I guess he's saying. The irony, all of the fraudulent Cash App accounts are still being allowed to operate in our name. Check this out. Umar Johnson is focusing on the fraudulent counts, but he fails to recognize that they're looking at how fraudulent he is. What am I saying to you, everybody? What I'm saying to you, everybody, is that this is happening primarily to Umar as I get closer to you. This is primarily happening to him because of the fact that Cash App sees what he's been doing as fraudulent. Because if you are saying you've got a school and there's been no school open within the 6 years of you saying you've got a school with faculty, and they realize that you're collecting money on something that isn't really happening under the law, not speculation on my part or your part, then that would be the reason why Cash App cut his account. They saw it as fraudulent. And those accounts that he's woofing about that are fake accounts, they're going to get to those accounts as well. But they got to the real perpetrator of this whole thing, which is Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson is the real perpetrator in breaking laws. Now, this is where he's fraudulent in America, everybody. This is where he's fraudulent. So when you go and look up Umar Johnson in the school, when you go and look all this up, and I was looking this up and I said, does he really have a breakdown of his school, right? Does Umar Johnson, is he actually doing what is necessary under the law? All right. Now, Umar Johnson put this up. Yes, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Leadership Academy is a nonprofit. He's claiming that it's a nonprofit. This is probably how he's been maybe getting away with stuff, but I think Cash App got rid of him. In terms of the IRS, the tax issues, the liens, that's a separate issue. If the IRS goes after Umar Johnson on both Cash App as well as PayPal, even if his Cash App account has been canceled, they can still go after him if they don't see his so-called academy being a nonprofit. If they feel that Umar is lying about it being a nonprofit because he doesn't actually have a operating school, and the two criteria for an operating school is faculty and students. You may say, well, he's still building it. If he's not saying that the school is not up and running, meaning the school is not functioning yet, if he's not saying to people, I'm collecting money for a potential school, because he keeps saying that he has a school. He has no school. You have to have a faculty, you have to have a staff, and he has to be able to prove that. Anybody that researches this about Umar will know that he's a fake. As once again, he says here, it's a nonprofit school in Wilmington, Delaware. It offers academics, right? Extracurricular programs for children, especially those in underserved communities. He's not serving anybody. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? He's not serving anybody. Who is Umar serving? There is no curriculum. There are no kids being learned about any damn thing. I'm going to say it again. There is no extra curriculum because there is no students. And if there's no students, no kid is learning. Therefore, it is not a school. This is fraud, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that Honors talks about this today. It is complete fraud, and you can file a complaint when I show you the rest of my presentation today. You can file a complaint. There is, under the letter of the law, he says he's offering academics. He's offering what academics? Where, if you were to ask him right now, or any court of law or judge or any regulatory organization, Umar, where is your curriculum? Let us see it in writing. Nothing, it can't be out of his mind. It can't be Umar Johnson constantly telling you, we gonna have karate class, we gonna have helicopter class, we gonna have an FDMG on the moon. No. Hell no. He's got to have this written on documented paper, documented in black and white, all legal like. He doesn't have such a thing. Let's go back to this again. Extracurriculum. There are no extracurricular activities happening at the Obandos. He doesn't have a school. What Umar Johnson has that we cannot deny is that he has buildings. He has the remnants of what used to be a school when it was the Mortar Academy. It is no longer that. And therefore, he basically purchased buildings. That's all they are right now. All he can say is that he's in the process of trying to create. He can say, I'm in the process. I'm trying to put a school together. My goal is to hopefully have a school. You can't call yourself a school under the law until you complete all the things that make you a school, which includes mainly students and faculty. Umar Johnson has none of these things. Therefore, he cannot tell you and me when he gets on podcast. He cannot tell us that he has a school. When he goes on these podcasts where he's being paid $500, he is lying. This is really what I should have gotten into on Saturday. Make sure you share this video. If you're watching me on your desktop or you're watching me on your computer, your cell phone, you can hit the button where it says share and share alike to all your social media right now while watching me. We should be focusing on the legal aspect of Umar in his deceit, deception, misrepresentation. He does not have a school. This is a big reason why I believe that Cash App had to do away with his account. This is another reason why I believe, and tell me if I'm right by putting sevens in the chat room. Get the algorithms cranking over here. This is another reason why I believe that the GoFundMe got rid of Umar, because they probably did some research and found out that he's collecting money for a school over these years that isn't open, isn't accredited, it isn't recognized, and does not have faculty or students. Those are the key words. Legally. Therefore, any of us who gave Umar Johnson money, no matter how much you gave him, it's under fraudulent pretense, because it's been 6 years since he purchased those buildings and has done nothing with them to show you that it's a school. All he can say is that I got buildings and I'm trying to renovate these buildings to maybe someday make it a school. He can't say he has a school, but that's what he's been saying on these podcasts. Once again, collecting money from black people all these years. Umar's been collecting this money. As I said the other night with the visuals, he uses the Black Power mantra to get you emotionally entingulated into his con game to get your money, to get you emotionally spirited up. Umar has, once again, using these visuals, he has no car that he owns of his own. He simply is always renting cars. And just like this guy here, as I said the other night, he spends most of his time in hotels and motels and Holiday Inns because why? He makes his money by going around, giving these little speeches and giving these little having these little conferences where he's talking to make his money, claiming that he's the only sought after psychologist, which is a lie. We never see Umar Johnson, okay? I'm not calling him doctor no more. He ain't certified. Do your research on that one. You never see Umar in an office like this gentleman right here. Has anybody have you ever seen Umar in an office working on a computer with a suit and tie on, looking professional like this guy in a professional setting? Hell no. Have you ever seen him like this? Come on now. If y'all know this is true, put those sevens in the chat room. Have you seen him at a desk working tireless like this brother right here, trying to figure out how to budget for the school? Another thing that came to my mind as I talk about this is that the other night, on Saturday night, I failed to bring this up to you all. Amongst all the other expenses that he's been trying to get money for, how is Umar Johnson going to pay the faculty that he does not have? So think about it. You can't pay people on these donations. You would need $1 million donations, which he's not getting. What I mean is he would need to have people with deep pockets. So once he gets this school going, it's not a school, but he's been collecting money and he can't even get doors right. He can't even get HVAC right. How would he pay a nurse for the school? How would Umar Johnson pay the salaries of his teachers who would need a livable wage? How would he pay the security faculty, the cafeteria? He would have to also pay money for lunches, breakfast, and lunch for the kids and snacks. Where would that budget come from? Transportation and so on and so forth. This place would have to be inspected, the whole 9 yards. Where would he find the money to pay the teachers? If he thinks that people are going to work for free, Umar Johnson is out of his mind. The time that it would take to educate children in this environment would mean an 8-hour day, an 8 to 10 hour day. People need to get paid. People need salary. How is he paying for that? Where is that coming from? Where is that being generated from? Umar is a liar. There are no faculty. You see this black man right here, he's a science teacher. Do you see any science teachers that have been hired? Has Umar been transparent in saying, this is who I have hired, this is their expertise, this is their resume, this is their name? Have we been introduced to anybody like a science teacher, like this brother right here? Have we seen that? This is why, as I said in the last video, eventually PayPal is going to cut him loose once they realize that he's collecting money under fraud off of false pretense, because he keeps saying that he has a school when he has no school. There is no FDMG Academy, because in order for there to be an FDMG Academy, you have to have students, a faculty, you have to have a functioning curriculum, you have to have a functioning structure. What we have is a man who has dreams of a school. We have a man who's factitiously making up stories. He does not have it. He uses the term, I have a school, to collect money. He gets on podcasts and says, ain't nobody in the black community building an institution like me. Who's building an institution? Umar Johnson. Listen to me carefully. Umar Johnson does not have an institution. By saying that he has an institution, he is lying. It's fraudulent. You can actually file a lawsuit against him. You can actually file consumer complaints against him for that lie. Because why? To have a functioning school, you have to have a library with books like that, books like this. Hear what I'm saying? Send this damn video to the highest level, y'all. You have to have books like that, teachers, right? Students reading those books, and classroom supplies. Do we see any of that in there? No, he has none of these supplies. Another thing, have we ever seen any hard hats, right? Where are the hard hats? Where are the construction workers? Where are the brothers like this brother right here who's got the hammer and nails getting his school going? Do we see anybody in construction that's doing this type of stuff, right? Right? Do we see anybody like that? Yes or no, everybody? It's a no. There is nobody building this place. Do you see anybody coming in with saws like this and doing sawing of wood? Do you see any real construction? You only see Umar up there. Do you see Umar up there with a crew of hard hats like this, looking at the site and planning with blueprints? Do you see it? No, you don't see any of it. Do you see, once again, do you see people with hard hats and blueprints looking through and trying to figure out the design? Do you see anybody moving dirt or land with tractor supplies like this? Do you see it? Let's be honest. Do we see any of this sort of stuff? No. Do we see anybody with demolition equipment breaking the building down to be able to get ready to build another part of the building like this? I'm giving you all these illustrations. We don't see any of this. This is because Umar Johnson is running a fraud. He's been running a fraud for a long time. Do we see anybody doing welding work, electrical work up there like this, y'all? Here are the illustrations of this channel. Here's the illustrations of what I'm going through. This is the information man. I bring the information. I bring the power to you because this has got to be stopped. Wait until I tell you how Umar Johnson is violating the law and been violating the law. Once again, nobody moving any nails out of plywood, no wood being cut. Nobody doing any of this. You don't see Umar Johnson even wearing a hard hat. You don't see any structure. Look at this right here. This is a construction site. Where are the professional construction workers at? Where are they? We don't see them. We don't see Umar Johnson talking to construction workers and making plans like that brother right there is talking to these construction consultants right here. Where is Umar consulting real construction workers or real contractors? You don't see it. Have you seen Umar being consulted or talking like this brother right here with real contractors? Hell no.
Tell the truth.
Because everything that he's doing is fraudulent. All we have is this, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we have. Now, let me show you a video. I must show you this video before we get started with the claims that I'm making against Umar under the law. Not me making it up, but me saying this is what's under the law. I want y'all to understand what I'm saying. If you're with me today, put sevens in the chat room. What I want to do is show you clips from videos from 6 years ago. 6 years ago. But before I do that, let's play this clip right here from Honors, because this is one that also puts things in perspective. So let's find this clip. Hang on, everybody. I want to find this clip that I know that Honors had did, and I want to play that. Now, where the hell did I put that clip? This is a very important clip, and I'm trying to figure out where did I put it. Don't you just hate when you've got something set up and you're looking for it, and then bam, you don't see it? Now, where did I do with that clip? Oh my goodness gracious. Where is that? Oh, here it is. That's why I didn't recognize. Here goes the clip, everybody. I want y'all to check this out right now. Remember when Honors did this right here? Check this out. Check this out.
Today, January 6th, 2024, marks the 14-year anniversary
of Umar Johnson's 2010 Facebook post where he wrote, promises in 2010 to begin laying the groundwork for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Pan-African School for Black Boys, specializing in learning disabilities and disruptive behavior disorders. This will be a private school, and yes, you will pay in order for your son to attend. Grand opening, September 11th, 2013. This is chess, not checkers. 14 years later, and there is still no school. 14 years later, and not one boy has been educated.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you see something that's disturbing here? This is why Umar Johnson is violating the law. He cannot continue to say that he has a school when he has no faculty, no students. You hear on that video, Honor saying that 14 years later, still no school. That was 14 years ago. We're going on 20 years of this bullshit on top of 6 years since purchasing these abando, those abando buildings, right? He purchased these abando buildings and nothing has come of it. These right here. Let's put this back up here. 14 years. Now, originally he promised in 2010 to begin laying the groundwork for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Pan-African School for Black Boys. Remember, Honors has talked about this. You all have heard this, specializing in learning disabilities. He's not specializing in anything. You cannot be specializing when you have no students that you're teaching. In disruptive behavior disorder, this will be a private school, and yes, you will pay in order for your son to attend. Umar Johnson has received no tuition because he has no students, he has no faculty. So therefore, it is not a school. It is all bullshit again.
14 years later, and there is still no school. 14 years later, and not one boy has been educated. 14 years later, and Umar Johnson continues to collect money for a school that does not exist.
He's collecting money for a school that does not exist. And check out this video that I'm going to play for you right now, where Umar Johnson, it's 6 years. Check this out. Check this out, y'all. Check this out.
Peace and love, Black family. This is the Prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Umar Johnson, King Kong Consciousness. I'm giving you an outside tour of the FDMG Academy. That's what we're doing right here. This building that you're looking at right now, this building, this is the yard. This is going to be the yard, okay? This might be our garden. You know, we got to get that agricultural science in, but I think we're going to buy another piece of land to do the agriculture. I think we may leave this as a playground for the...
I want y'all to realize that this video is 6 years old. He's done absolutely nothing with any of these things. There's still no students. And those who tried to assist Umar in terms of black people who wanted to assist him, he has refused to be assisted. He'll tell you that he can't open up the school because the white man is against him, the government is against him, or some sellouts, some raccoon types. No, Umar Johnson is his own worst enemy. Let's continue.
Youth. We may leave this as a playground for the youth, what you're seeing right here. This may stay the playground for the youth. This building right now, that's a small gym, small gymnasium. The building that you're looking at, small gymnasium, okay? That's the entrance. We got some graffiti we're gonna have to take care of, but this is a small gym. We're gonna turn this into a community center, all right? Patrice Lumumba Robert Sobukwe Community Center, when we wanna do parties.
He bites off more than he can eat, everybody. Why don't you just focus on trying to get the building in repaired shape enough that you can actually have real students in the school and hire real faculty, then focus on academics, and then you grow everything else one step of the way. This man has a brain that's always in fantastical land. You should be focusing on one thing at a time. How do you eat an elephant? You eat an elephant one bite at a time. Instead of Umar focusing on the most important thing, which he keeps telling you and me, that he wants to educate black boys, then focus on making the buildings functionable enough for you to be able to pass inspection, to have students and hire a faculty, which he'll never be able to. And I'm going to show you some evidence about that. But I'm going to show you why he is fraudulent, he is deceptive, he is misleading, he is doing false advertisement, and you can make a complaint with the Consumers Bureau. You can. This is a violation. We should be focusing on what he is doing to violate the law when he's constantly saying that he has a school and he does not. I'm here to submit to you, this is one of the reasons why he lost GoFundMe, why he lost Cash App, because they recognize that it's a long con and that he doesn't have any of the things. He doesn't have a real school. So therefore, if you don't have a real school or evidence that shows that a school is going to be coming forward, then you can't collect on something that you've been lying about. And they already know, Cash App already knows, because they have the receipts. They already know that Umar has been lying about a functioning school as of right now. Cash App knows it. That's why they got rid of him. Let's continue.
REITs, think tanks, town hall meetings. Obviously, we got to do some cleaning up. I'm going to have to come in and do some cleaning up right here. Over here is the main school building. You're looking at the main school building. You're looking at the main school building right there, brothers and sisters. Okay. This is the main school building. All right. Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. All right. This is the main school building. Okay. Very large. This is the gym. We have a very large gym. We can do all of our conferences, workshops, our Black Wall Street.
This is the biggest thing that everybody likes to say. We're going to bring Black Wall Street back. He doesn't have a functioning school. So all of this fantasy about we're going to have a conference, we're going to bring Black Wall Street back. You eat an elephant, everybody, one bite at a time. Umar is trying to jump ahead. He's trying to go without the cart. He's taking the cart before the horses before the cart. This is foolishness.
Okay, very modern school in the inside. Very modern school in the inside. You're going to see that when you look at the inside tour video. Okay, as you can see, we got some land back here. Okay, maybe we can put our Orisha shrines back here. Okay, maybe we can put our Orisha shrines back here.
I want to remind you all again coming in. Have we seen anybody with hard hats in this so-called school like this doing real work? Have you seen anybody working on the plumbing? Do we see anybody other than Umar? Put sevens in the chat room if y'all know I'm right. Have you seen anybody other than Umar in the school with a hard hat on like this man right here, working on plumbing, working on electricity, should I say? Have we seen any of these things? Hell no. We have not seen a contractor. We have not seen anybody like this brother. I don't care what their race are. Black, white, Latino, Asian, it doesn't matter. We haven't seen anything working up there. All we hear is Umar saying that the black contract thieves ripped me off, and he shows us no proof of a contract that they ripped him off so that he could take them to court if he had real professionals. He even said, I'm going to go to the white man. I'm going to go to the white contractor. And then he tells you that the white racist contractor ripped him off. But yet, why would you go to the white racist contractor when you're always talking the black power stuff, Umar? This is the hypocrisy of his black power mantra that he talks. Bullshit. Again, no car of his own. Stays in hotels 24/7. No professional setting you've never seen him in, right? You never see him in his own apartment. There are no faculty like this that's been hired. No one. No real construction going on, as I said before. None of that kind of stuff. All we simply see is the condition that the buildings are in like this. Yeah, he might have painted the buildings. He might have even put up some makeshift doors that you can see through. Look at that. You can see right through the door. As I said on the other program the other night, Umar is a trip, y'all. We need to look at the legal ramifications of what he's doing, which is why Cash App got rid of him and had to get rid of him. But check this out.
You're looking at the main school building. This is the Frederick Douglass building. And look at this. We got a nice walkway. We got a nice walkway, brothers and sisters. We got a nice walkway.
Look at all that trash.
And this walkway goes all the way to the end. This walkway goes all the way to the end.
Once again, everybody, this is literally a 6-year-old video. When he first got his hands on these buildings, has done nothing with them. Yes, he's painted because he used women. He used women to paint the outside of this place. He didn't have a crew of men, right? He still only shows you the gym, the other side of this campus, or it's not a campus. The other side of these buildings, he never shows you anymore, right? He paints the inside with colors that don't even match up with each other correctly. It's all a facade to continue collecting money.
This is beautiful. We can meditate back here.
Nobody wants to meditate back there.
We can have a private cookout back here.
No.
Okay, you see the window.
No. You see, he jumps ahead of himself. He should not even be thinking about, Umar shouldn't even be talking about no damn cookout. He shouldn't be talking about none of this crap. He should be focusing on the main thing, make the building functionable for students and faculty to be able to inhabit the building safely. That's the only thing he should be focusing on before he gets to all this other fantastical, magical type of stuff, y'all. He's got to stop this magical shit. Okay? He's got to stop the magic. Let's continue.
We can meditate back here. We can have a private cookout back here. Okay? If the sisters want to come and do some yoga when it's nice and warm outside, when we do that Pan-African picnic, we can come back here. Okay? We got the Boys and Girls Club right in back.
Boys and Girls Club he was talking about. So this is the situation, everybody, with Umar Johnson. Check out the other video that I got right here. This man, I'm telling you, is a disaster. And when I show you the meat of my content today in terms of where he's violating the law, for those of you out there that keep saying, why is it that nobody's done this and that? Because I don't think people understand or have done the research to understand that when you say that you have a school and you have no faculty, you have no students, and you carry this on for a number of years, you are violating certain laws potentially as it relates to consumer laws and misleading people. You can sue him for that. So anybody that's given Umar Johnson money as a donation, and you've been waiting years and years and years, and he keeps saying that he has a school, and it's all documented because he runs his mouth about having a school on every damn podcast that he's getting paid $500 for, but you don't have one. He is now lying, and it's called fraudulent advertisement. He is a fraud. Let me let you see more of what I am talking about. He is a complete fraud. Let me play the next video so y'all can see what I'm talking about here. Check this out. This is when he was talking about the Boys and Girls Club, and he's talking about the field over here. Check this out, everybody. Check this out.
That's a large community park. We could put a stage there, have our conscious hip hop concert, our conscious R&B concert. We could have over 100 vendors. We could have over 100 vendors, brothers and sisters. You're still looking at the outside of the Frederick Douglass building, okay? The Frederick Douglass School building, state of the art, beautiful on the inside.
No.
Once we're done with the...
He's already being fraudulent. The buildings are not state of the art. These buildings are old. It's also in a Browning area. And I'm going to also talk to you about the Browning environmental area and why he would never be able to pass inspection and the money that it would take to clean. See, what Umar Johnson needed to do is he has to pay for an environmental impact report. And then he has to pay money, he doesn't have it, to clean the site up, just the site itself. Hear what I'm saying. Let's continue.
Renovations. Beautiful in the inside. Once we're done with the renovations, as you can see, it's a campus, brothers and sisters. This is a whole campus. This is your campus. Thank you to all my donors. We have 4 buildings. You're still looking at the Frederick Douglass building. I just took you around the Frederick Douglass building. I still have to show you the Marcus Garvey building. You saw the small gym. You saw the small gym. You saw the small gym, brothers and sisters. So here's one of the entrance rays.
How many of you in the chat room remember this particular video? Put 7s in the chat room if you remember this video. I looked this video up on the King Kong Consciousness channel, and it's exactly 6 years. So it's actually been 6 years exactly since he purchased these abandoned buildings. 6 years by putting 7. Let's see. Kimberly says 7. Mondrell, what's going on, my brother Mondrell? Put 7 in there. Reacts, put 7. Sister Monica, thank you so good again for the super chat that you gave me. I really appreciate that. She put 7. Over 50 and Fabulous. Good to see you. How you doing? Why can't we see inside the buildings? He has shown us inside the buildings a few times. Over 50 and Fabulous, and it's horrible, it's horrible, my sister. It is horrible what he's got going on. He's got, you know how when you go into a building and you have like you can see the walls and the roofing? He's got the scaffolding still showing, like the wires and stuff. You can't bring kids into these buildings when you've got wire and all kind of stuff exposed above their head. He hasn't even cleaned that up. X Freeman says, what is your email address? You can find my email address on this channel. Go on the back page, the About section of my YouTube channel, and then you click the part where it says email, and you know how it does. It makes sure that you're not a robot, and then you can find my email there. Last call. What's going on, my brother? Muhammad says, the inside is nothing but painted walls and open ceilings. Right, that's what I'm saying. Open ceilings and painted walls that don't even look like color coordinated right. Monica says wiring exposed and plumbing not working. Exactly. So if he's got this problem happening, everybody, it's a violation of the law. You can't say that you have a school that's fraudulent. I am going to show you the proof in the law, but just bear with me right now. Let's just get through this video because I wanted to set this video up to show you
up the steps to the Frederick Douglass building. Right? Then we got all these large stones. Take a large stone. We're going to paint that. We're going to use the stone.
Remember the stone
as altar.
That's the stone that he painted red, white, and blue. All this man has done, everybody, is painted the inside of some of the inside of this building, the gym in particular. He's painted this rock red, black, and green. He's picked up garbage from off the ground. Yes, he's done it, but it still looks like slop up there. But this is 6 years ago to show you that no progress has really been made. As I said before, where are the desks for kids and the books, library, right? Where is this kind of stuff at, everybody, right? Where are the faculty, right? Hired, no faculty. Where are the construction workers or at least contractors that can at least get the job done, right? This is not happening at all with Umar Johnson. No earth is being moved, right? These buildings are in a Browning area, so he would need to hire someone like this demolition truck to unearth the ground to get the impurity of the soil. They got to check the water to make sure that the water is right. Everything in this area has to be checked, and none of this is being done. Umar has been running this game for a long time.
This for the Orisha. Okay, we got to put beautiful windows. tinted windows.
By the way, he doesn't have tinted windows. And by the way, he didn't have any windows until the Cookie Crush chat. A lot of you in this chat room right here are part of the Cookie Crush chat room, right? Over on Honor's channel. Every time you guys call him out, then he does something. Remember, the Cookie Crush chat called him out as well as Honors. And then he went and showed some windows just to keep face. But every time he does just a little bit like a fake door, remember he put these doors up that have a crack in them that are not done professionally. He does just enough to create the image of progress, right? To create this image that work is getting done like this when work is not getting done. Let's continue.
And this is the Frederick Douglass School main entrance. Main entrance, if the child is in a wheelchair, they can go up the ramp. If the child is in the wheelchair, they can go up the ramp. Okay, brothers and sisters? Okay, the Frederick Douglass building. We got about 12 to 16 classrooms. We got a cafeteria in there. Can't go in right now, brothers and sisters, because we don't have the electric on. We got to get the lights.
You see what I'm saying here? This is when he was talking about electric. He hasn't made any progress in this area, ladies and gentlemen. Another thing, I'm going to say it again. It's not a school. He does not have any students. He said to you that he can't have students in there because he doesn't have electric. He doesn't have a faculty. He hasn't interviewed any parents. He has shown no documentation of any evaluation of parents, students, or faculty. He has shown no resumes. He has not put on camera any interviews in progress. You can't find one human on this planet we call Earth that can tell you they had an interview with Umar Johnson about working at that school. Because if that was true, we would have tons of people giving testimony about how they interviewed for the job and that they're happy to be hired. And then the question again is, how is he going to pay them a salary? Again.
Turned on. Now you're looking at the Marcus Garvey building. Right across the street is the Marcus Garvey building. We have two buildings. Right across the street is the Marcus Garvey building. This is where NIBPA, Team Pan-African, the unapologetically African movement, administrative offices for all of our community, international movement for the independence and protection of African people programs. We got a ramp, okay? This whole block is ours, brothers and sisters. We're gonna call this Dr. Papa Boulevard, Dr. Papa Freeway, okay? This is Ifa Tunde Avenue.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is all nonsense. What did I say earlier in this podcast? He needs to be focusing on making the buildings functionable enough and safe to have both students and faculty. He's sitting up here talking about naming the streets and naming this and having a damn party in the block and all this other stuff. None of that stuff is relevant to educating black kids. Whether you name the damn street any damn thing, you can name the street Mickey Mouse Avenue. It does not move the goal and the bar to educating black students. I'm going to say it again, that there is a man by the name of Q Butter who has a functioning school in Brooklyn, New York. I know him. I've talked to him. I've been on panels with him. Has a functioning school and shows you what he can do. I've got a good friend by the name of George Makem who has a program called Urban Nerds Worldwide, and he shows you what he's doing on camera with this academy that he's creating. He's taking kids out into different parts of the world, different parts of the country, introducing them to things in their community. His goal is to get this program all over the world, right? But he's taking it one bite at a time because he's working within his community of Philadelphia, where he works with kids and gets them out there in environments that are outside of environments that are dangerous environments. He's mentoring them, tutoring them, providing science, STEM, and what have you. I'll give you a little taste of him right now. He believes in getting rid of the Negro mindset and behavior and focusing on academics, achievement, and promoting positiveness for black kids. This is a man who needs your donations. And guess what? He's a real nonprofit. Guess what? When you donate money to him, you get beautiful merch with the logo. You get hoodies. You get all kind of nice things. This is the man you ought to be supporting.
Yeah, man. I'm here in the hood in Southwest Philadelphia, man. We out here trying to save life, save souls. We trying to change the mindset of the youth. We say urban nerds, not urban shooters. We say death to the real nigga. We not talking about killing any niggas. We talking about killing that nigga mind, consciousness in the minds. We say, we lift up our hoodies and we say nerds over niggas, right? We want to.
Didn't Umar Johnson, and Honors has said this many times, didn't Umar Johnson say that we got to take the lives of some of these black youth? Didn't he say that? He said, for good, for good, for good. Didn't Umar Johnson make those statements? Honors has shown that on video where he talked about taking the lives. George Macon ain't talking about taking nobody's lives. He's talking about getting rid of the mentality, not the physical body.
To bring black intelligence back to the community, man. We want to raise up our young boys and teach them that they can be something other than being a so-called nigga, man. We want to change the mindset of the youth, man. In every city across America, man, urban nerds is coming, man. A lot of our kids, they jump off the porch early, man. They jump off the porch. These young black boys, they jumping off the porch into an unforgiving world, man. An unforgiving world. And a lot of them is not mentally ready for this culture, this deaf culture that we celebrate in the community that we come from. So we created urban nerds to save souls, to save lives, man. And we teach young black boys to go out and start saving the lives of young kids at their age. We want to be a light in a dark room. We want to be a clean glass next to a dirty glass, man. So look for urban nerds coming to a city near you. Peace.
I got to tell you, everybody, that that's a good brother right there. There's a lot of kids that he's working with in Philadelphia, and he's also partnered up with Q Butter. So he's real. He does have a website. You can check that out. Just go and Google Urban Nerds Worldwide. You do get a real, unlike Umar, you get a real tax break. He's actually doing it, and he shows you this man is doing more work with kids than Umar has done in the last God knows how long. When the last time we've seen Umar with kids tutoring and working with them, right? Now, we saw him some years ago doing these college tours and taking them to graveyards. George Macon ain't taking nobody to no graveyards. He's taking these kids into science and academics, putting them in environments, giving them understanding of their history. Q Butter is actually working hands-on with kids in his school. Umar, we giving the wrong money to the wrong dude, and we ought to be ashamed of ourselves for giving this dude our hard-earned money.
Brothers and sisters, this is Ifa Tunde Avenue. Could you imagine this whole street filled up with our people, our brothers, our sisters, our children,
all dreams,
the African drummers, the vendors, the good food, and then right here in the big park, you got the entertainment. You got sisters doing yoga, okay? So you done seen 3 buildings. That's the Frederick Douglass building, the Frederick Douglass main school building. Over here, the Marcus Garvey School building, which will be administrative offices until I grow the school's population so that we are large enough. This is going to be the Marcus Garvey building until I grow the school's population until we're large enough to need both buildings. We have 2 buildings, and then you see the small gym, which is going to be the community center.
You notice that he never goes over to the other building. Honors talks about this too. You never see what's going on at the other building. Don't you find that very suspicious? What's going on over there? Why does he never open that up and let you see?
You saw the small gym, which is going to be the community center, and I believe that's going to be the Nat Turner, okay, and Jean-Jacques Dessalines Community Center, all right? And then right here is going to be the Pan-African Library. This is going to be the Patrice Lumumba Robert Sobukwe Pan-African Library. We got to do some cleaning up.
All right. You definitely got to do some cleaning up, Umar. You got a lot of things to do up there. Now, let me get to this right now and show you a few things that I wanted to go over. So check this out. Remember I tell you that he's violating the law, and let me show you how Umar Johnson is exactly violating the law, everybody, right here. Check this out. This is under the law right here, what I'm about to read. Yes, claiming to have a school when you have no students or faculty will generally be considered false advertisement, as it is misrepresenting the actual services and capabilities of the institution, potentially violating consumer protection laws and making you liable for deception and marketing practices. This is the key word right here, though. You have no students, no faculty, generally be considered false advertisement, as it misrepresents the actual services. So when Umar says that he has a school, that's false advertisement, because he doesn't have actual services going on. He has no real faculty, no real students, so there's no services that could be taking place. Let me read this one to you as well. Claiming to have a school when you have no students or faculty is considered fraudulent and could be a form of deception or misrepresentation depending on the context and the intent behind the claims. Essentially, it means advertising an educational institution that does not actually exist or operate. That's clear law. So even if Umar says he has a school, it's fraudulent, because you can't say you have a school if it's not actually operating as a functional school. Everybody in the chat room, is Umar Johnson functioning as an actual school as of right now? If you believe it's not an actual school, put 7s in the chat room. Get those algorithms cranking. It actually has to be more than you just saying what you have, because he likes to always say on podcasts, ain't nobody in the black community making institutions like me. No, to have an institution, that institution actually, you have to actually be educating someone. The institution does not actually exist or operate as a functioning school. So Umar has been lying. This is the one I want to put up for you right here. Where's that one for 6 years? There's one that I want to show you. That's not the one I want to show you. Damn it. Where's that one I want to show you? That's the other stuff that I wanted to show you. Here, let me pull this up again. Hang on for a minute, everybody. I'm going to pull this up. Give me 1 minute. There, I want to pull this up. Where is the one? If you've been speaking on something for 6 years, it's been located. If you've been talking about something for 6 years and you don't have an actual, I read somewhere, this is in the law, that if you've been saying this for 6 years, that is fraudulent. He's been claiming he's got a school. If you claim to have a school when you have no school, where is the other one? Claiming, let me see, claiming to have a school when you have no school faculty is considered fraudulent. But there was one that specifically was talking about 6 years. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Boom. Thank you for bearing with me. I want to make sure that I give you guys all the receipts. Boom. I'm going to read this to you. This is a part of the law. And thank you, Seth Lofton, for the $5 super chat from the Cookie Crush chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the super chat.
Appreciate that. Here's the one. I don't know why I couldn't find it on my system, but here's the one I wanted to read to you. Because why? This is poetic truth here. If someone is promoting a school that has no students or faculty over a number of years, that's the one I wanted to find you. This is in the law. So if you are claiming to have a school and you're collecting money for it, you're promoting a school that has no students, no faculty over a number of years, depending on the jurisdiction, you might be able to take legal actions based on consumer protection laws against Umar Johnson, alleging false advertisement or deceptive practices. However, the specifics of the situation and your potential legal resource would depend on the details of how the school is being promoted and whether any consumers have experienced diminished harm or have experienced harm by the misleading claims. Well, yes, you have. If you've been giving Umar Johnson money for years and you still been waiting on a school that has not happened and it's been 20 years, and then the 6-year saga of these buildings that he purchased, and he hasn't been, and another thing is that he has not been transparent, then you have been harmed. Your money has been you have given your money and you have not seen any progress or results. So you have been harmed. You can file a lawsuit against Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson does another thing that we should be concerned about, which is, you know how he repeats all the time over and over again? Check this out.
I repeat things 3 times because 3 is the number of gates. It is the number of roads. So when I'm communicating, I'm trying to condition and educate your unconscious. And since 3 is the number of times you need to knock in order to open up the spiritual gateway, I repeat things in 3 because if your unconscious hears it 3 times, it has a stronger likelihood of holding on to that bit of data, that bit of consciousness, that bit of intelligence. So that's why I repeat everything in 3s to help you understand, overstand, and understand. See, the first time I say it is for you to understand. The second time I say it is for you to understand. And the third time I say it is for you to overstand. That's why.
I want y'all to understand, overstand, and understand what King Kong is talking about.
All right. Now, that's part of his promotions, everybody. That's why I played that. That's part of his misleading promotions. He's misleading you when he's promoting a narrative that he has a school. He's repeating over and over again, hit the Cash App for FDMG. There is no real FDMG. So we've got plenty of video evidence of him misleading. Him repeating stuff is a part of the con game. Let's put this up, let you understand what I'm talking about. Yes, repeating things is a common method used to condition people's mind, as repetition can create familiarity. This is the psychology of it, y'all. And eventually leading to accepting or belief in a repeated message, idea, or behavior essential to programming the mind through consistent exposure. You see what we're saying here, y'all?
I repeat things 3 times because 3 is the number of gates. It is the number of roads. So when I'm communicating, I'm trying to condition and educate your unconscious.
Yes, he is trying to condition your mind. Check this out. Check this out. Key points about repetition and mind conditioning. Memory reinforcement. When something is repeated, it becomes easy to remember, make it more likely to be randomly accessible in the mind. Habit formation. Repeating actions can become integrated as a habit, often occurring without conscious thought. Techniques. Markets influence often use repeat marketers and influencers often use repeated rhetoric to embody a message in the people's mind, making them more likely to buy a product. So therefore, every time Umar keeps repeating that he's got a damn school, every time he keeps repeating that he has these things, he is playing on your mind psychologically. He's using psychology against you, making them more likely to buy. So you wonder when we call Umar out and people keep defending him, people keep making excuses for him, people keep lying for him because they've been culturally conditioned. They've been conditioned in the mind by Umar Johnson continuing to repeat stuff over and over again till it becomes truth in your mind. So when he gets on podcasts or goes anywhere he goes, you notice he constantly repeats, I'm the only one building an institution. I'm the only one that's got a school. Who else got a school but me? But he has no school. And so the people that follow Umar, that worship at his altar, that believe in him, they are just as this is just what cult leaders do. This is Jim Jones type of stuff. Repeat it to make it real. Do you understand what I'm saying? Psychological impact, repeating exposure to positive or negative stimuli can influence the emotions and the attitudes towards the subject. You understand what I'm saying?
Tell the truth.
This is what Umar Johnson has been doing.
3 is the number of times you need to knock in order to open up the spiritual gateway. I repeat things in 3 because if your unconscious hears it 3 times, it has a stronger likelihood of holding on to that bit of data, that bit of consciousness, that bit of intelligence. So that's why I repeat.
You see how he's able to manipulate people, how he's able to get people to believe in him, people to give him their money. I'm breaking it down, y'all. To give your money to him when there is no real school. And this is why you'll have black folks and some folks that will still ignore the facts when they're put before them because of their confirmation bias. They believe in the man. They believe in his mantra. He repeats to them. He's telling you right there. I showed you the video where he repeats the words to enter into your self-conscious mind and unconscious mind to keep you in tune with what he's doing. That's why he gets on these podcasts. That's why he gets on video every day and constantly says, if you're not supporting me, then you ain't a real supporter. So it's Stockholm syndrome. You got people that follow Umar and support him, even though he'll talk to you like a dog when you give him your money, because he's working on you psychologically, emotionally, and therefore, like Stockholm syndrome, you begin to identify what your oppressor and the individual that's talking to you nasty and the individual that you believe in. You understand me, everybody?
Information
is power.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Do y'all get what I'm saying here? Is anything that I'm saying making any damn sense, everybody? Is it making any damn sense? Any sense at all? I just set up here and showed you the data that shows that if someone is constantly saying that they've got a school and they've been saying it for years without any faculty, any students, any actual demonstration of an actual school, you're right. If someone is promoting a school that has no students, no faculty over a number of years, depending on that jurisdiction, you might be able to take legal action based on consumer protection laws. Therefore, all of us who have given him money, you have a right to complain to the consumer protection. This is why, everybody, or why I can make the inference. Look at this crap right here. Look at this door right here next to me. What all those cracks in it? He don't have a functioning school. He can't say it's a school. And this is why you got every right to hold him accountable. He can talk all that crap about you ain't a loyal donor. No, you have every right, everybody, under the law to question what Umar Johnson is doing. You have every right to demand your money back. You have every right to complain about what he's not doing because he's perpetrating a fraud by saying he's got a school by not clarifying what he's really got. What he really has is buildings, and what he really should be saying is that he's in the process of trying to create a school, but he does not have a school at all, let alone private, public, or accredited.
Tell the truth.
Not at all. Let's go back into this more details about this misleading us. Now, check this out. Remember I told you he's going to be in trouble with Cash App? Here's his Cash App right here. I mean, not Cash App. He's already in trouble with Cash App. They got rid of him. Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey, RBG, international leadership. Man, please, ain't no international nothing. Here's his PayPal. He's going to be in trouble with PayPal. You know why? Because, look, let me put this up here. Remember I said that if you claim to have a school when you have no students or faculty, it's considered fraudulent. Let's go into the key points. Let's go into here. Remember I said he has the PayPal. PayPal and money orders is where he's drilling down right now, right? This is where he's pushing right now. But check this out. Check this out. Remember we said that Umar, check this out. If someone is using PayPal to solicit donations for a school, because now he has slid to PayPal. He has slid himself to now PayPal. He's going to double down on PayPal. If someone is using PayPal to solicit donations for a school that does not exist yet, and that's the key word, Umar Johnson does not have a school yet. Therefore, he can't say, I have a school. This is for the school. It is considered a fraudulent activity and could be considered a scam. Well, it is a scam. Donors should be cautious and report such activities to PayPal. That means all of you in the chat room, everybody that's been ripped off by Umar that's given him money over the years, in these last 6 years too, you can report him to PayPal. It is considered a fraudulent activity. How many of y'all knew this by putting seven? If you knew this, put sevens in the chat room. I don't think a lot of people understand this or thought about it. I don't think you didn't understand it. I think people didn't think about it because a lot of people keep saying, well, why is he not sued by anybody? Because nobody has actually looked at the law. Nobody has actually looked at the law and said it's considered a fraudulent activity and could be considered a scam. Donors should be cautious and report such activities to PayPal as well as relevant authorization depending on the jurisdiction, as it is likely a form of charity fraud. So wherever you live in America, Identity Withheld says Umar already lost a PayPal account years ago. He must be opening another account. Chat, please correct me if look, Identity Withheld, my brother. He must have done that because I did a video on Saturday playing video, and I know Honors is going to play that video on his channel today. I'm gonna take y'all right up to Honors going live today, everybody. We at 3:30 p.m. Western time. He go live 4:30. I'm gonna take you right up to Honors. We're giving y'all bonus today. That mean any of y'all in this damn chat room today, what's going on, DJ Goodwood, Last Call, The Informant Media, all of y'all, Alpha Stone 14, everybody, Alicia, my mods, Knowledge is in the house. What's going on, my brother? All of you on the chat room, if any of y'all ever gave him money, and even if you haven't gave him money, you can contact PayPal right now. As well as any relevant authorities, depending on the jurisdiction that you live in, to complain that this is charity fraud because Umar Johnson has not proven that he has a functioning school. Did not show y'all earlier, there's nobody up there working with hard hats. There's nobody doing any sawing. There's nobody doing no hammering. There's nobody moving earth because he's going to have to move some earth because he's got an environmental impact down there. There's nothing being demolitioned. There's nobody working on plumbing or electrician. He's not meeting with any professional contractors like this brother right here in this video that you're watching. He's not working and talking and consulting. There's no hard hats on ground. None of this is going on, everybody. There's no black man with a hard hat on that's a contractor. He lied and told you that the black contractors ripped him off, and then he ran to the white man who he says now is a racist, even though he knew that from the get-go because he claims to be Pan-African or pro-black. There's nothing going on the construction site of this building. There's no school chairs, no books, no tables, no students, no nothing. No black students in the school, no teachers, no science teachers like you see right here, no nothing. All you got is one man, one mouth running his mouth. All you got, everybody, to show for it is nothing. Umar Johnson. That's all you got. You had a man who has no car of his own, but renter cars, a man that stays in hotels and motels most of his life, a man that's hit the Cash App. They already got rid of him off a Cash App, right? A man that is truly not living up to the principles. Well, no, he is living up to the principles of America by ripping you off. Okay, everybody? By ripping you off. Red, white, blue. red, white, and blue and white, y'all. Okay? And this is enough that should make you angry in this pro-black stuff that he pushing. And as I said to you all yesterday, the government is not after Umar Johnson. The government is not after anything that he's doing because the government is not concerned about black men like Umar Johnson, who confessed to be a black power man. They are not concerned when black illegitimate individuals like Umar Johnson are ripping the black community off. They don't see that as a threat because he's not uplifting the community. He's ripping us off. So therefore, they're not coming. Why would the government be concerned about Umar Johnson and what he's doing when he's ripping off black people, running a fraud on you, and there is no school, so there's nothing for the government to be concerned about because he's not doing anything but leading us astray? Why would the government be concerned about a Negro that leads you astray? Why? Why?
Tell the truth.
Why would the government be concerned about a Negro who can't even put doors in or have doors installed in properly without you being able to look right down the crack of them? Why would the government be concerned about that? That's buffoonery for the government. They laugh at you. So Umar Johnson, I said it on Saturday night, that eventually the next thing they're coming for is the PayPal. The PayPal is going to be next because PayPal doesn't like people soliciting money for something that does not physically exist. It would be different if Umar, as I said before, would stop saying he has a school and simply say, we potentially would like to have a school, but we're working on some things. But to outright say that you have a school as he lies on podcast is a damn shame. And those of you who give him money to come on the podcast, you need to save your damn money. Stop giving this man money to come on your podcast. He's a waste of time. Let me also give you some more details here. Check this out, everybody. Check out these details. Why this is a problem when you misrepresent people, misrepresent having something that you don't have. Check this out. The misrepresentation, the act of claiming to be raising funds for a non-existing school. Baby. Woo. Woo, baby. We're going to tell it over here on the Information Man Show. The act of claiming to be raising funds for a non-existing school is a clear misrepresentation to potential donors. That's you, that's me, that's y'all. Y'all can hold him accountable. You can file a lawsuit. You can or you can at least complain to the Consumer Protection Agency. Do it quickly before Donald Trump, gets rid of the Consumer Protection Agency. Because with his executive orders, he's trying to get rid of every damn thing, everybody. You know what I'm saying. Man, I'm just telling y'all the truth, y'all.
Tell the truth.
Okay? Now, let's continue. For a non-existing school is clearly a misrepresentation to potential donors who are likely motivated by desire to support the education program. See what I'm saying? And he repeats to you 3 times to get it in your psychological brain, right? Check this out. Illegal activities. Depending on the location, soliciting the donations for non-existing charity could violate laws regarding fundraising and charitable giving. Potential for abuse. What is the potential for abuse, y'all? The potential for abuse is collecting funds could be used for personal gain instead of the intended purpose of supporting the supposed school. Everybody, I'm coming closer to you right now. If you think, how many of y'all in the chat room, by putting 7s in the chat room, believe that Umar Johnson is using some of this money for himself personally? It says here, potential for abuse. The collected funds could be used for personal gain instead of intent purpose of supporting the supposed school. How many of y'all, by putting 7s in the chat room, believe that Umar Johnson is benefiting personally? We got the great shark in here, great black shark, who says, that's a good idea, Brother Info. Perhaps you could kick the ball off by filing a suit. Oh, I'm going to. Hey, look, great black shark. I'm going to file a complaint because I said over here, brother, right here, that he is now using PayPal because Cash App has already shut him off. It is considered fraudulent activity, could be considered a scam. Donors should be cautioned and report such act. I'm going to report it. So I do plan to, because I gave Umar, this is what you don't know about me, great black shark. I was a supporter of Umar back in the day. I gave money. So looking at this and researching this shows that we can complain. We can file a complaint against Umar for being fraudulent, especially if you gave him of your own money. And I've already been looking into it, brother. Why do you think I'm doing this video? To bring it to everybody's attention that we have the option. Because if he's fraudulently, and the reason why I'm bringing it to the attention, it's been 20 years. And it's been 6 years since he had purchased those buildings and has done nothing but continue to deceive black people in particular. That's why I don't be, that's one of the reasons why I don't get caught up into people on YouTube or otherwise, y'all, who try to put themselves on this pedestal. I don't pedestal people, and I don't follow people who want to be on a pedestal. Once I believe in you and you burn me and you continue to burn me, I wake up and smell the coffee. I smell the roses, as they say. And I realize, you know what? This dude is really wasting our money. And as I said before, I would rather see y'all give money to people like a Q Butter, who actually has a real program, or somebody like my man George Makem, who actually has a real program as well. Someone like this brother right here.
Trying to save life, save souls. We're trying to change the
Urban
mindset
Nerds
of the
Worldwide.
We say urban nerds, not urban shooters.
I support this brother's
program. We're not talking about
George
killing
Makem.
any niggas. We talking about killing that nigga mind, consciousness in the minds. We say, we lift up our hoodies and we say nerds over niggas. Right? We want to bring black intelligence back to the community, man. We want to raise up our young boys and teach them that they can be.
Now, as I said before, you get a real tax write-off for his organization. It's a true nonprofit, and when you give him money, you get something from it. You get beautiful logos, shirts, hoodies. He gives you something for donating money that he uses to help the youth that he's working with in Philadelphia, and he plans to spread the Urban Nerds Worldwide program all across the country. George shows you what he's doing. He's doing more work with youth than Umar Johnson has ever told you that he's doing. Because Umar Johnson don't even take care. Remember, Umar Johnson doesn't even take care of his own kids. But yet he's telling you that he can teach your kid. So you want to say, what am I doing? I support people like Q Butter. I support people like, with my money behind the scenes, I support people like George Makem and Urban Nerds Worldwide. That's what I'm doing. On top of the other things that I do in my personal life with youth. And on top of that, someone like Umar, we shouldn't be giving him our money. We should be giving brothers like those brothers that I named our money that are actually showing you what you're getting for your money. So I bring this video to you to say you do have a recourse to call Umar out by making your complaints known. Because a lot of people on YouTube will say, well, why is it nobody? Because I don't think a lot of people realize that if he's putting out falsehoods, you can call him on those falsehoods, you can file a complaint, and you can hold him accountable. We all have to hold him. It's not about one person, it's about all of us collectively holding him accountable for the fraudulent things that he's doing as it relates to this so-called school when there is no school whatsoever. Again, the law is very clear. If you continue to say you've got a school over a number of years and you have no staff and you have no students, no faculty, that's considered misleading the public, period. What to do if you encounter this situation? What to do if you encounter this? Do not donate if the suspect, if you are suspect a school is not legitimate, do not contribute to the funding of that so-called scam. Report to PayPal immediately. Report the suspicious activity to PayPal through their fraudulent report system. Didn't I say that I plan to do this, but I'm also doing this video to empower those of you out there that want to do the same thing because you got ripped off from Umar and his scam that he's been running here for over 20 years? Report to PayPal immediately, suspicious activity, PayPal through their fraudulent report system. I bet you this is the reason why Cash App, I bet you any kind of money, this is the reason why Cash App probably dropped him, because people probably were filing complaints the same way. Contact local authorities. Depending on the circumstances, you may also want to contact your local consumers protection agencies. You better do that before Trump gets rid of those, because he's doing every damn thing else. Law enforcement to report the potential scam. You see what I'm saying here, everybody?
Tell the truth.
College of Natural Health Science gave me a $2. He says, Umar Johnson is a scammer, is a scam King Randall who really has a school. Yeah, that's right. The brother King Randall who really has a school. Umar was supposed to come and speak at his school, a man who has a real school, and he scammed King Randall. That's a fact. Let me put this up here too as well. Possible legal action that you can take. Consumer protection lawsuits, filing a lawsuit under the state consumer protection law alleging false advertisement, right? Or deceptive trade practices. Cease and desist order depending on the jurisdiction, depends on the jurisdiction that you're in. So you need to be aware of the laws in your city, your state. jurisdiction, you might be able to file a complaint with the consumer protection agencies to request a cease and desist order against the person that's promoting something. Remember, everybody, was this happened a couple years ago when Umar Johnson, was given a letter by the state of Philadelphia to cease and exist, meaning they were telling him that he could no longer ask for donations in the state of Philadelphia, the very place that he loves and he comes from, Philadelphia. They stopped Umar Johnson by saying that he could no longer solicit donations because they felt that there was something not right about what he was doing, the way he was doing it anyway. By saying he's got a school when he doesn't have a school, I bet you somebody filed a complaint using these methodologies when Philadelphia finally said they had enough of Umar Johnson and that he cannot. That's why you don't see Umar Johnson soliciting for donations in Philadelphia. Depending on the jurisdiction, it might be able to complain with relevant consumer protection agencies, right? Civil lawsuit for damage. If you can prove direct losses due to the misleading promotions, you could potentially sue the promoter for damages. Once again, you have to be able to prove it. But Umar Johnson, there's so much video on him claiming something that he does not actually really have concretely. Let's go back over here. Important factors to consider: state regulations. The different states have various consumer protection laws and regulations regarding educational institutions. So consult with an attorney familiar with your jurisdiction. Evidence of misrepresentation. You would need to gather evidence of the false claims being made, such as advertisement, website. Well, we know he doesn't have a website. He doesn't have a domain name for his website because that's already been taken. He doesn't even have a damn domain name for a website to tell you exactly what's going on, how much money's being spent on what. He's not being transparent. That's a reason. Okay. Content or promotional material. He does do promotional materials all the time. All right. This is an example of promotional material. When Cash App shut him down, what did he do? He put this promotional material up here on what? He put this promotional material on Instagram saying that PayPal, check and money orders only. They tried to discourage us on Frederick Douglass' birthday, right? Remember, he talked about that. We were notified this morning that our Cash App account was canceled. We asked for clarity, but we're not offered any reason for the, sabotage. He's calling it sabotage. Ironically, all the other fraudulent Cash App accounts are still being allowed. Now, this is why you know Umar Johnson is not an honest broker. If Umar Johnson knows that there are fraudulent accounts using his name to earn money, why didn't Umar complain? You didn't hear him say this. Why didn't Umar complain to Cash App? Why didn't he file the same complaint that you can file against him with PayPal? Why didn't he file a complaint with Cash App about those fraudulent accounts? It's funny how soon as Cash App shuts him down, now he's whining and crying about, well, what about the fraudulent accounts with my name? Why didn't you complain about that, Umar? That makes me think that there is no real fraudulent accounts because if there were, as arrogant and narcissistic as Umar Johnson is, he would have clearly, everybody complained about it and made it known, because he would have saw it as, hey, that's money that I should be getting. You see, this is why you know he contradicts himself every which way but left. Let's continue. Evidence of misrepresentation. You would need to gather evidence of false claims, right? Let me put this back up here. Let's put this back up here like so. Boom. The important factors, right? You would need to have evidence. You would need to have evidence of misrepresentation. You would need to gather evidence of false claims being made, such as advertisements, websites. I talked about that already. Proof of harm. You would have to be able to prove proof of harm. How is that harm working? To successfully pursue a legal claim, you would need to show how the misleading information directly affected you or other consumers. It would. If you are a donor and you've given Umar money, that would be your proof that you've been harmed, that he's misled you, that you've been giving him donations for all these years and there's still no school, and that he's been BSing you around. These are the things that you would have to do. Let's go over here. Remember, I told you that Umar has these buildings in a Browning area, everybody. A Browning area. Environmental. Honors has talked about this, the environmental impact report of this environment. Check this out. Did you know that these buildings, and let me show you this right here again, did you know that these buildings, everybody, this area in Wilmington, Delaware, is in a Browning area. The guy from Texas, thank you for being here. Monica, the Great Black Shark, DJ Goodwood, everybody that's here. Muhammad, I appreciate all of you coming through, rocking with the channel. Great Black Shark says, I think Umar O's father called him out to a white. Yeah, well, he got called out. Great Black Shark, I don't know if you know this, brother, but Umar got called out by the family of Frederick Douglass, the living descendants, for lying and saying that he's related to Frederick Douglass. They told him to cease and exist from doing so, served him with papers, told him he's not. They say, we don't know who this Negro is. This Negro is not related to our family, because his father told him that fantasy lie and he stuck with it all this time. Still tries to act like he's related to Frederick Douglass. This is the kind of individual that we're dealing with here. But I want to talk about this little part right here, the Browning of the community. And then he can't even put these doors up right, y'all. This is a shame. But this is what he has. In this area, I'm going to say it again. In this area, Umar Johnson purchased these buildings in an area that they were going to tear all this shit down. They wanted to build, Umar has actually held the community back. They wanted to build a new park, new facilities for the community on this ground. But to do it, they were going to have to get the environmentalist impact report to remove toxins from the soil, make sure the water is not harmful in the pipes, stuff like this. You see this right here. You see how they're digging in the dirt here. And this guy's putting stuff in the little truck right there, construction type work. They were going to do big things in this area. And this is the kind of stuff that Umar would have to spend money on as well, because of the environmental issues, the Browning area that this is setting in. Let me read this to you right here. If buildings are located in an environmental area classified as a Browning field, it means that the land they are built on is potentially contaminated with hazards, substances, pollutants, or other contaminants, which could complicate the redevelopment or reuse of the property due to the potential environmental cleanup required. Has Umar talked to any of you all about this? Has he brought this up? Anybody in the chat room? If Umar has not brought this up, put sevens in the chat room. He hasn't talked about this. He hasn't addressed this issue. This will cost money. This will cost money. What does it mean for buildings on a Browning site? The environmental assessment before any construction. Before any construction, y'all. We're going to say this. We're going to do this again. before any construction can take place, y'all, or renovations through environmental assessments, okay, is necessary to determine the extent of the contamination and development, and a remedy must be sought after before any construction can be done on a site like this. It must be determined the extent of contamination and develop a remedy and plan. Does Umar Johnson have a plan for this school before construction can begin? Oh, it's not a school, everybody. Let me correct myself. Cleanup depends on the level of contaminants. You understand what I'm saying? Cleanup depends on the level of contamination. The building's owner may need to undertake costly cleanup activities before development, should I say, can proceed. So he already would be in violation of that. That's why these buildings would not be fit to open up a school. This is why he can't go on podcasts. He can't tell you he has a school. He has no faculty. He has no students. So that's already false advertisement. And he hasn't even cleaned up the outer environment that this place is setting in. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? More information here for you to ponder, everybody. Key points about the Browning Field site. Contamination. The primary characteristic is the procedures or potential presence of hazardous substances in the soil, groundwater, or surrounding environment. You hear what I'm saying? Often stemming from past industrial or commercial activities like old facilities, gas stations, or landfills. And remember, the building that he purchased used to be Mortar Academy, a school that shut down. The development challenges building on a Browning site can be complex due to the need for environmental assessments, potential cleanup costs, and managing potential risks associated with the contamination. Has Umar done anything about this? Furthermore, everybody, cleanup costs. Depends on the level of contamination. Buildings owners may need to undertake costly cleanup. I've said that already. Regulatory oversight. Local and federal environmental agencies may oversee the cleanup process and impose restrictions on buildings' use based on the contamination levels. So if the contamination levels in this community in Wilmington, Delaware, where he has these buildings, and Honors has already talked about this. I did a video about this as well. And we both did videos where we found the actual environmental impact report where the schools are. He found the report. I found the report in a video that I did, and we actually showed the blueprint report. It's not good. It's bad. It's not bad. It's bad. It's not bad. It is bad, what I'm saying. It's not a good thing at all. And so Umar, he knows he ain't going to be opening up no school. He's been known this. This is why it's become a con for him. It's been a way to use your money that you think is going to a school, and then he'll do just enough to make you think a school is opening up by painting some walls, putting in some doors that don't even fit right, show you some windows that were already probably in the damn building already. Show you the gymnasium to make you think there's progress happening so that she can keep getting money out of you. It's the illusion. It's the delusion of the illusion to think something's going to. And remember, I showed you the psychology of what he uses when he repeats to you over and over again There's a psychology and manipulation to that. Let me show you something. Site-specific influences on costs and cleanup costs increase with the size of the property. Manufacturing facilities, RAW, and junkyards and industrial sites are the most expensive to clean up. Manufacturing facilities, rail yards, I guess, and junkyards are the most expensive to clean up. The most expensive to clean up, residential and commercial buildings. Well. Those buildings in Wilmington would be commercial buildings, y'all. Are the least expensive to clean up, right? They're the least expensive. So the chart here says medium cost to clean up. I mean, let's say that medium cleanup costs by state. So 100,000, the closer you get to the West Coast, 200,000, depending on what it is, though. Let's put this up right here. Location based on cost. Cost varies dramatically by state, with cleanup costs the most in New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and California. It could run you and check this out. Variabilities likely driven by different states' regulations or populations, right? Medium cleanup costs in urban settings could be up to $158,000. 10 times in rural environments at 14,000. These are the charts. So I just wanted to show you guys that. So Umar Johnson, he would need money because he doesn't tell us how much he has. He's not transparent. We really don't know how much he really has when it comes to the budget of money that black people gave him, because he doesn't tell you. He doesn't give you a line item. He's not professional. He's sloppy. He doesn't say, hey, this is how much we need for this, and that. This is how long it's going to take us to do this, and that. He doesn't. If Umar Johnson was more transparent, I think a lot of people wouldn't be clowning him. A lot of people wouldn't be calling him a fraud if he was more transparent, because the more transparent you are, the more people will understand why it's taking this long or that long or whatever, right? But Umar Johnson doesn't do that. He doesn't give you that type of transparency, that type of honesty. So he leaves it to people to guess, to come with their own belief system as to what they think is going on. But I do know that these buildings are in a Browning area, which will cost him money on top of whatever else expenses that he would have to raise money for. And the question is, you can't really build a school. You really can't build a school on just donation money alone from just the average everyday person that's out here trying to make a living and take care of their family. You really need big time pockets. You need the $1 million donors. You need the people who got the deep pockets. But when Umar Johnson talks so negatively about certain people that do have deep pockets, why would they want to give him money when they can hear the stuff that he says about them? Because that's the real money that he would need to take the buildings to where they need to be. Now, he was on Lord Jamal's podcast, and Lord Jamal said that he had a father-in-law who built a school, I believe, in Brooklyn, New York. And he told Umar Johnson that, do we have the right real estate? He says, you might be the right guy for teaching the kids, for all the curriculum, but maybe you need somebody who's good with real estate, right? So Umar may have great ideas when it comes to the educational component for kids, but does he have the real estate mind? Because that's basically what those buildings are. It's real estate. And he says that, hey, my father-in-law actually got a school up and running less than the time that you've been working on it, and he can give you some pointers and help you out. And Umar got upset. Got angry, and was like, ain't nobody building a school like me. And Lord Jamal said, yeah, the concept of the school may be different, but the idea of how you put the school together in terms of building it is the same. But he wouldn't listen. because his arrogance, his narcissism just won't allow him to listen to other people. And while you remember, I'm going to say this to you again, while he goes on podcast and constantly keeps saying that he has a school, he does not have a school. The rules are very clear here about this. I'm going to read this to you again. If someone is promoting a school that has no students, no faculty over a number of years, depending on the jurisdiction, you might be able to take legal action based on consumer protection laws alleging false advertisement or deceptive practices. However, the specifics of the situation and your potential legal resource would depend on the details of how the school is being promoted and whether any consumers have been harmed, demonstrated by harm by the misleading claims, everybody. That's the truth.
Tell the truth.
That's the truth, everybody. We got to tell the truth and shame the devil. This is what's going on. This is what you need to understand, what you need to know. That we do have recourse against Umar Johnson misleading you. If you are a person that's been giving him money for over 20 years, giving him money over the last 6 years, you're sick of it. You're sick of what he's doing. You want your money back, or you want to hold him accountable. You can complain right now because he's using PayPal as his mainstay. You can go after him on PayPal. If someone is using PayPal to solicit, demonstrate, solicit donations for a school that does not exist yet, that's the key word, yet, it is considered a fraudulent activity and could be considered a scam, especially if he's been doing it over a number of years. It's one thing to give a person grace period, right? Let's say you give a person money and they say, hey, I'm going to take that money and build a school. And then you give them time. You give them a year. You give them 2 years. Maybe you give them 3 years. You give them 4, maybe 5, maybe. Maybe, just maybe. You give them a grace period. But when they overdo that, when they go over that grace period, like Umar has done with these over 20 years, then 6 years with the buildings that are going nowhere. And when we sit back and we know that there's people that have been trying to help Umar and he's refused them, particularly black people. We know that he ran the St. Paul scandal, saying that he wanted to buy that school and said that he couldn't get it because they didn't want to sell it to him because he's black. And then we find out that he never put a bid of the money that you gave him on the schools. He never even bid it on the schools. He lied about that. He lied about that, y'all. He lied about the St. Paul's. That was a scandal. He did that video walking along the campus and talking about how he wanted to have students on the campus, talking about that was once the place of Frederick Douglass. And we find out that he never put a bid on the property. He lied to us. That's fraudulent. That's deceptive. That's misleading. It all falls under the criteria. If you were giving him money then and he lied and said he was going to take the money to purchase the school and lied to you saying that they turned him down because he's Mr. Black Power, and then we find out later that he never even placed a bid, that's misleading, deception. That's false advertisement. We find out that he never put a bid on those schools, y'all. On that school. That was a lie. And then we find out that there was a black family that had land that was willing to give Umar Johnson free land, free of charge, to build from scratch. And he blew those people off. You've had black men that came up to those buildings that were willing to do work on the roof and do electrical work for him that he turned down. Why does he turn people down? You know why. Honors talks about this because if he deals with real professional contractors, they gonna want to see the budget. They're gonna want to see transparency. He deals with the Pookies and Ray Rays to do little work around those buildings because one, he can pay them anything. They're not real contractors, and he don't have to show them his books, show them money, budget, any damn thing. That's why Umar doesn't have real professional hard hats up there like this brother right here. That's why you don't see him up there with no real deal contractors, people who ain't about BS. They gonna want to see the books. They gonna want to see what your budget is. They want to see that you on the up and up with everything that you're doing. This is why he continues to get the Pookies and Ray Rays, the cleanup man, the fix-it men in the community, the crackhead looking dudes up there on the building. And then he uses women who are his biggest supporters. He uses women to paint the building. You notice that Umar never has men around him because men, we think with logic, we know this is BS. You notice he's always up here at these buildings by himself. Where's the crew? Where's the men helping you get this building off the ground to be a potential school? Where are the men? Where are the hard hats? Where are the carpenters? Where are the construction guys or the contractors? Where are the books for inside? Where are the desks? Where are the faculty hired? Where are the resumes? Where is the security? Where is the school nurse? Where is the security again? Where are the cafeteria staff? Where are they at, Umar? This is not, for the last time, everybody, this is not a school. He's purchased buildings with the potential of trying to make them into schools, but he's not even doing a good job at that. He's been derelict in the way he's been handling this. I know that Honors will be coming on at 4:30, so I'm going to lead us up to his program. Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody in the chat room that's been rocking with us today. I appreciate you. Let me pull some here. Hang on for a minute. What I want to do is I want to see some of the things that you guys are writing and saying in the chat room. So let me wait till this thing processes and let's get it going. So we got Michelle saying Honors is suspected person, especially when children. I am really surprised at you. I don't want to hear any of you coming in this chat room talking about you surprised at me. I'm surprised at you that you support somebody like Umar who doesn't even take care of his own kid. Get the hell out of my chat room. Get the hell out of my chat room. I'm surprised that you support someone like Umar Johnson who doesn't even take care of his own kids, and all he does is talk about black women and their body parts. That we got video of Umar Johnson doing pervert type stuff, putting video cameras on. You talking about kids? Honors got the receipts on that, where Umar is using his camera on a plane and got it all up a woman's behind. We got video of Umar putting his camera on kid, putting his camera on women while he's supposed to be out there in Africa on a vacation, and he's showing women's behind with his camera. He's a pervert, and you support a pervert. So get out of my chat room. Block that person out of my chat room. Get out of here. Because you supporting an individual who gets into debauchery, a man who puts on a ceremony in front of children, acting like he's marrying two women. Ain't married. This man sits up here and tells black men who we should be dating, and he's not even married to a black woman or takes care of his own kids. And the reason why, let's go back into his history. The reason why Umar doesn't work in Philadelphia anymore, as he always claims that he's the best psychologist, is that how many of y'all in the chat room remember that Umar got kicked out, lost his job at the organization he was working for in Philadelphia for misdiagnosing, allegedly misdiagnosing children. I bet you didn't know that. There's plenty of video of Umar being a sex pervert in the way he talks about women's body parts. And he's also a colorist. Every time he talks, he keeps talking about black women and all these different colors and all this different shit. He's a colorist. And he's also a pervert because there's video footage of him being perverted. Anybody in the chat room, you can't argue with me this. This is a very simple thing. How can you trust your child with a man like Umar Johnson who doesn't even take care of his own kids? There's a reason why he can't see his own kids. There's a reason why he even tried to throw his own mother of his children under the bus by giving out personal information of where they live. Oh, we got the receipts on that. Honor's got the receipts on that. I have heard Umar Johnson on radio shows over the years where people on the radio shows asked him very logical questions about the so-called school that he wants to open, and he gets irritated. He gets angry. He starts cussing at them and calling them coons and what have you. So stop it. Stop it with that. Anybody that follows this man, I question you. Yes, he was disgraceful in the profession. He is not he's not licensed. He lost his license. And remember, Honors talked about this. He was a part of an organization, and he was trying to push the elders that were in leadership in that organization out the door. And if he had been patient, the elders were going to put him in charge eventually. Umar Johnson didn't want to work himself up. He tried to do scandalous things behind the scene to take control of an organization and overrun the elders. And they had to get rid of his ass. Plus his misdiagnosis that he was doing. That's allegedly. Matter of fact, Honors got the document on. There's a whole story that was written about this situation in Philadelphia about Umar Johnson. But once again, Umar Johnson has got y'all magnarized. This is how he's got you magnarized. He got your mind so conditioned. This is how he conditions you. Check this out again.
I repeat things 3 times because 3 is the number of gates. It is the number of roads. So when I'm communicating, I'm trying to condition and educate your unconscious. And since 3 is the number of times you need to knock in order to open up the spiritual gateway, I repeat things in 3 because if your unconscious hears it 3 times, it has a stronger likelihood of holding on to that bit of data.
Now, this is what he's doing to you. Key points about repeating, right? Repetition, should I say. Key points about repetition and mind conditioning, memory reinforcement. When something is repeated, it becomes easier to remember, making it more likely to be ready, accessible in your mind. Habit formation. Repeating actions can become integrated as habits, often occurring without conscious thought. All right? Techniques. marketers use this to influence and often use repetition to embody messages in people's minds, making them more likely to buy a product or adapt a certain viewpoint. This is what Umar has done to his followers. So people who come in this chat room want to debate with me, you already been conditioned by him like a cult leader. The psychological impact, repeated exposure to positive or negative stimuli can influence emotions and attitudes towards subjects. Yes, repeating things in common method used to condition people's minds, as repetition can create familiarity and eventually lead to acceptance or belief in repeated messages, ideas, or behaviors essential to programming the mind. You Umar Johnson followers have been conditioned and culturally conditioned by Umar Johnson, just like a cult leader does it to his followers. This is why I don't put my legions to any one person and put them on a pedestal in the real world and definitely on social media, because we got a lot of people on social media who got large followings and act like they a deity and they ain't shit. And this is one thing about me, and I don't care how anybody feels about this. This is one thing about me. I show myself. A lot of Negroes, y'all hide behind avatars. I show myself. I always am a little suspicious of people who never show themselves on camera, because you say, oh, they hiding from the government. No, most of the time they hiding from black people, because they don't want you to be able to walk up on them in public and call them out on their bullshit. So they hide behind avatars. I ain't hiding. Y'all been seeing me live on camera for years now. I'm just keeping it 100% real with you.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Like I said, this whole situation is a damn shame. I'm going to get ready to close out now because I know Honors is about to go live on his channel about this whole situation. But I just wanted to break it down to you all. If you got something out of this podcast today, put sevens in the chat room. Don't hit my cash. Don't hit his cash app. He don't have a cash app. What I wanted to say is subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell of notifications. What I really wanted to say. Hit the bell of notification so that you never miss. Umar Johnson is not the only subject matter that I talk about on this channel, but I had to come back with another video because there were so many things that I did not say in the first video that I did on Saturday that I wanted to clarify in this video. This is, I think, the real reason why they got rid of, he's going to have some tax issues to deal with if that's going to be the case. But this is the real reason why I think Cash App got rid of Umar Johnson ultimately, because of the same thing I've been talking about, is that he doesn't probably have a real school, and they probably know it, and they probably know that it's fraudulent, and you probably had people file complaints, just as I've talked to you about today. There's people that probably did file real life complaints about Umar Johnson and all that he's done. So we just want to be real about this whole situation, everybody. Everybody, tell somebody that you love them. I appreciate you coming over today and being a part of the channel. Appreciate you. I clap to you. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of the program today. Share the video on your social media. Respect to everybody out there. Black Shark, I know you do your thing. You've been doing your thing for a long time, brother. I trust that you're the real deal, right? I know I talked about people with the avatar, but I know that you, Black Shark, when I said what I said, I'm not pointing a finger. I'm not talking about you, brother, because I know that you're real. You've been following me for a long time, and you got great content on your channel. So everybody, check out the Black Shark. He has a great channel. There's some people, like Last Call, I was on Last Call channel yesterday. I know you're real. I'm talking about the people who hide behind the avatars who ain't real. Let me clarify this. I'm talking about people who stay behind their avatars, but they're not real. They're fakes. I'm talking about that type. But there's some people that I know that I follow, that I like, and they like to use their avatar, but I know that they're real. I see their consistency in what they say and what have you, and what they're trying to convey to the people, and that they're looking out for the best interests of the people. So I have respect for those type of brothers and sisters. Let me just clarify a few things here. I just want to clarify that because I don't want to disrespect anybody. Those who need to be disrespected, you disrespected. But those who are not, you know where I stand with you. There are so many good people on the YouTube streets who sometimes believe in people that mislead them. And we got to be careful about how we allow ourselves to be misled by individuals who don't really mean us any good. Okay? And I would say definitely support people who you know are legitimate. They're trying to put together a legitimate school or program. Give your money to them. Umar Johnson has wasted a lot of resources that black people have given him to set up here after 6 years. And all he's got to show for 6 years right now, since purchasing those buildings, is some doors that he didn't even put up properly. Look at this right here. Look at that. You see it on the other side of me. Look how the doors are messed up. Not to mention the HVAC crap that he put us through when he lied about putting HVAC on the roof. Remember that whole BS that he put us through in that situation? And people paid money to give this man to get something going. This is the thing about Umar. I think if Umar Johnson would just be honest and tell black people, because we're very forgiving. I think if he would just be honest and tell black people, I'm having a hard time putting this school together. Obviously, I need more money, but I'm having a hard time, y'all, and I really need help. I think if he would humble himself and admit where he's screwing up, and I think if he would open the books and show black people, this is how much money he spent, this is where he's going wrong, and if he could just admit to us, I think black people, given our track record, we would forgive Umar. We would forgive him of his transgressions that have been negative. If he would just come clean and admit to us, what you all think? Admit to us that he know he's been wrong, that he know he's not been doing the right thing. But he's not willing to do that. And that's the problem, everybody. That is the fundamental problem. Great Black Shark, what's going on, brother? You know I got respect for you. Once again, everybody, make sure y'all check out the Great Black Shark. The Great Pill Podcast has a channel. Check them out. The Informant Media has a channel. Everybody in this chat room that has a YouTube channel, why don't y'all check them out? Write their names down so that you can go back to their channels or go look their channels up and subscribe to them. The guy from Texas has been rocking with me for a long time. Love to travel with Wave. So glad to have you over here. 9 Canada has come in rocking with me. Last Call is a real one too. Check out his channel. Golden Child, thank you. His hole has been dragged to deed. Yeah, that's right. Let me see. We got Other Side. Let me put these up. Let me put this on the screen here. We got Other Side of 40, Sister Crystal, who says, hey, Information Man and everyone, hey, thank you for coming over. Alicia, one of my great mods, one of my top mods on this page, thank you for coming over and supporting the channel. Tori Giggs, thank you for coming over and being here. He says this, if he opens his books, it'll just say Coke room service and flights. No one would give him more. You right about that. You right about that. We got the Great Black Shark again. Thank you. 9 Canada, I think. Hey, 9 Canada, do you follow my sports channel? My Prime Sports Media channel? I almost think I saw you over there one time before. And I got to go. I'll be going live on that channel probably tomorrow or Tuesday. I got to put out some more content. We got a lot of things going on with Colorado and some of the players there. Let me see. I remember when Umar was asking for unpaid secretaries around 2022. He wasted years and deserves punishment. Wow. All right, I'm about to end because I know everybody's getting ready to go over to honors. Let me see. Let's see. Umar is known for pivoting to the floor needs to be, yeah, he's now saying that he's going to work on floors. But this is the thing. Why are we just at floors right now? I don't know. We know that a lot of the stuff that he does, the cosmetic stuff that he does here and there, is to keep the illusion of the money flowing in. Just enough to make you think that something's really happening so that you can keep giving him money. Let's just be honest about this. Let's just be honest. We got YKTV says, easy to talk when you're not doing. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm doing, but what is Umar doing? What is Umar doing? He's not doing nothing but he's not doing that. He's been stalling for 20 years and 6 years now, and he's doing a half-assed job. I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm part of an organization. I've sent thousands of kids to college over the years. I've done mentorship. I've done tutoring, mentorship at the ground level. I've gone into quote unquote project communities over the years since I was 19 years old, working with youth, working with kids. We have a program called Project Alpha where we deal with teenagers as it relates to what their responsibilities are when it comes to pregnancy, impregnating a young lady, when it comes to dealing with sexual transmitted diseases. We give out scholarships to get kids into school. We have Alpha Academies in every state in which we connect with the high schools, the local high schools, to deal with young black males in particular who tend to be looked at as what? As, he's hyperactive. Young men that are tipping on the tipping port of being kicked out of schools. And we follow them through to help them from not being kicked out, to get them back on track. We also work with Big Sisters and Big Brothers program, March of Dimes. We also have programs where we pair a young male with a black man who is a professional, a doctor, a lawyer. So if we have a young male, even a young lady who wants to be a doctor, a teacher, whatever, we pair them with someone that looks like them, that's doing the damn job, and mentor them. We follow kids through their matriculation from high school, junior high school, elementary school, all the way up. We, just like what they're doing with the Urban Nerds Worldwide with George Macomb, we get kids out of their environment and let them see other possibilities. That's what I'm doing. I have done more work, am doing more work, and there's people that I have a lot of fondness that are doing work. They're doing more work with kids and youth than Umar Johnson is doing right now. Umar Johnson's not doing any work with real youth. He claims he wants to save black boys, but he's not saving anybody. All he's doing is collecting the money from you. East B 103 says, yeah. Thank you. And I don't brag about this kind of stuff. I'm just saying that Umar Johnson, when's the last time you've seen Umar Johnson working with kids where he's tutoring them or something of that nature? When? He claims to be a school psychologist in principal. Can anybody find the information that he was? Remember, I told you he got kicked out of Philadelphia for misdiagnosing kids. There's all kind of articles about that. The organization that he was a part of in Philadelphia, they printed their own paper and they exposed them in their own paper. I think Honors has clips of that on his channel. Let me see. Y'all know this stuff. Let me see. And see, this is what frustrates me. Those of us doing the work, scammer fans come in here and tell us about their chosen scammer and project. Right, sister. Let me give you a clap on that. Right. Right. Let me see. My man, October. He says, also, Umar only talks and gets donations due. Right. Thank you. Last call. What's up, everybody? Golden Child, thank you for coming over. He says he works with these mammies by trying to get in their draws. He does. Yeah, that's why he appeals to women. He's trying to get, yeah, exactly. I haven't even gotten into that part of Umar's behavior. But, you know, Honors has all the receipts on that. So everybody, check this out, everybody. I want to say thank you for coming over and being a part of this program today and joining me here. I'm going to end right now because I know Honors is supposed to be going live. If he's not already live right now, y'all can go over there and check him out, give him support. Thank you. Do me the biggest favor, everybody. Again, share this video in your social media. Share this video with people who need to be enlightened about this man, people who also are aware of him, but share this with people that you know. Share it in your Twitter, your Facebook groups. Share. And I'm about to go over there and support Honors and what he's doing right now on his channel. I appreciate you all, everybody, for coming on over. Thank you again. Thank you again. Thank you, everybody. Peace.
I'm chained up and I'm banked up and I'm
Peace, everybody.
You bend it down and you poke it up and you elevated,
I came over, I ain't sober, I'm still
everybody,
drunk, that's
take care.
over. Might run it back when this
like
page over.
Everybody.
You the best thing, I done
like
slaved over. Gon'
is.
arch you back
Peace.
and been way over. It's overdue for that understressing.
Umar Johnson.
Over him, now you underdressing. Call me up and I come finessing. Like, ooh, we shot it, what it do, what it don't.
Thank
Baby,
you,
you a
everybody.
queen, you can move how you want. You was rocking with me when I couldn't stay afloat. They ain't never saying nothing wavy to a boat. Like, eyes up, look at me, now I'm the captain. Brought the camera, time for action. Split the legs just like a fraction. Tuck the napkin, time for snacking. You a motherfucking meal. Tell me that it's mine, baby, tell me that it's real. Hit it to the max, well, tell me how it feel. It's gonna be a minute, cause I'm in it for the thrill. Make her feel like heaven, she gon' put me in the wheel. And willingly, I wanna do anything she wanna do. I ain't even wanna boo, but this is what the coma do. It's hard to be apart from you, cause ooh, I
love it when I get so high and drop that ass so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home. You love it when I get so high and drop that ass so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home.
I'm drank up and I'm banked up and I'm elevated. You bend it down and you poke it up and you elevated. I'm drank up and I'm banked up and I'm elevated. You bend it down and you poke it up and you.
Time's been moving slowly, so we already in too deep. Can't get no sleep on each other, heavy teasing all day. And when the sun sets, you asking me to come through quicker with you. Night turn to morning dew. Then you the key to the lock, we in our own zone. Make yourself at home, get to know mine on the inside. Can meet at yours next time. And you feel it freshening, lose control. You don't wanna go slow, for sure. We both already know your place is my place now. Let's face it, baby, you know all the places. like I do. My place like you do. Issues, I know I got issues. Hate you then I miss you again. Selfish, I can be so selfish. Spend more time when meeting your friends. Please forgive